Is miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect mines from complex.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight we start Week 14 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Rams. And off we go from SoFi Stadium. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25.
Here we go.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Rams, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On second down, right back to Hunt. And some space here. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Caught on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. D'Onta Foreman His third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Raiders 14, Rams nothing.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Tavon Austin now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much, don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Complete, the tight end Kelsey. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again. But I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Rams go nickel here defensively on third. From the gun, it's Tua. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That third down conversion good for 23.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A carry for Foreman. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. They get 8 yards back there. They could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
How about this defense that came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. They're back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole that leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Lawrence. Caught outright by Renfro. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Harris running straight ahead. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Jake Camarda now. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to
looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw, Lawrence. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he gets us inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Looking for Kelsey there, but it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Raiders are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, not a gain that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run with Foreman. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Man open, here is Jones. And he's going to have a first down, and they get into field goal range here at the 29. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
On the double.
Ready. 2 and now on 1st down. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with the grab. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From midfield, here's Tua. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's got some space here.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
That's a gain of 13, first down Rams.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now on second and 13, Lawrence. He's going to puts it on the carpet. It's out, and the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, third and 1.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On the ball. On the ball.
They'll try and run. It's Dallas. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run on first down with Dallas. They'll get this to about the 38.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Ready.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. Buying time to his left. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise him with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
From the shotgun, this will be Dallas. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Here we go.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Once again, it's Dallas. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
2 and now on first down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Fletcher Cox able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Tua sets up to pass it. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And that will wind up just short. He had it online. It ran out of gas at the end, and the lead will stay put at 17. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Lawrence. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
From the gun on third down, Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Eddie Pinheiro on now. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now Foreman. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Give them 12 yards that time, and a Las Vegas first. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Rams 14-yard line.
Ready up.
Out of the gun, handoff to Dallas. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. DJ Dallas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Lawrence to throw. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee he's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Again, it's Lawrence. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Lawrence. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. You got the big lead defensively. You're willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence lets this go for Renfro downfield. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Raiders are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. 70 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, Keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Here's Foreman, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. What a play there by Fletcher Cox to get in and knock him down behind the line.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's Foreman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Looking to pass. Tua.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think, well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Carlson on for the PAT. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score Raiders 31, Rams 3. Daniel Carlson, the kickoff for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Las Vegas, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for L.A., it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7.